Okay, so you've just told me you need to have a difficult conversation with someone, and you're going to do it. Really, you are. You promise you're going to do it because you know you need to do it, and you're going to have that conversation. But just maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow seems better. I think tomorrow would be better. Okay, I'm going to hit the pause button right there. You need to stop procrastinating the difficult conversations. Stop putting off feedback. That's what we're going to talk about today, the importance of timing when it comes to feedback. And I'm going to help you stop procrastinating already. If you want additional helpful information on how to give and receive feedback, have better conversations, and be a courageous leader, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos each week. I know it's really hard to have those difficult conversations. I mean, that's why they're called difficult, right? I've been there a million times, and I've worked with so many supervisors and leaders on cultivating this skill set. And look, I'm not going to promise you that the tools we're going to talk about today are going to make these conversations easy. I mean, I wish I had a magic wand for that, but it will give you the tools you need to have more confidence and be able to tackle those difficult conversations. So let's get into it. You've probably heard the saying that timing is everything. And while timing isn't everything when it comes to feedback, it really is a critical component. And one of the best things you can do is come to grips with and accept the reality that putting off difficult conversations does not make them any easier. In fact, it has the opposite effect. It makes it so much harder. The longer you wait, the more you're going to build up how terrible that conversation is going to be and how difficult it's going to be. And what if they get upset? And the longer you wait, the more you build it up in your mind. And the more opportunities you have to talk yourself out of it, to tell yourself all the reasons that, oh, well, that really wasn't a big deal, or, oh, I'll talk to them about it next time. So the best thing you can do is just accept that difficult conversations are difficult and they're a little bit uncomfortable. And the best thing you can do is have them as soon as possible. Give me a yes in the comments below if you've experienced that, where you put off a conversation for so long and built it up so much in your mind. And then when you finally got the nerve to have it, it actually wasn't that bad. And you'd wished you'd had the conversation like weeks ago or months ago or however long ago, that you wish you'd just done it sooner. Give me a yes in the comments if you've ever had that experience. I know I have. Bunches of times. So the other thing about timing that makes it so critical when it comes to effective feedback is that the sooner you have the feedback right after the behavior, the more meaningful it is. The more you delay giving that feedback, the more you dilute your message. So just keep that in mind. Delay equals dilute. If you wait weeks to tell somebody that they've done a good job, well, that they're going to think, why did you wait so long to tell me? Why didn't you tell me that 2 weeks ago? Or if you, conversely, if you wait 2 weeks to tell somebody that you really were disappointed with something, or that because they didn't respond in a timely manner to an email, you lost an account. Well, if you wait weeks or months to tell somebody that, they could have done that same thing over and over again and not realized what they were doing or not doing. And how many accounts could you have lost, or how many times did they repeat that behavior? So it's so important that your feedback be timely, not only because it means more, it's so much more meaningful, but it also increases the likelihood that somebody's going to repeat a behavior and also prevent them from repeating unwanted behavior. So how can you get better at being more timely with your feedback, both positive and critical? The biggest thing is being aware. That's one of the best ways for any type of change, is awareness. Being really self-aware on when you are or are not doing a behavior. And some people are really good at just noticing that, just having something brought to their attention. They're really good at the next time they do or don't do something, it clicks for them and they notice. But most of us need a little more help. We think we are self-aware and we think we know when we are doing or not doing something, but it really takes a little more effort to truly get a grasp on those behaviors that we need to change. So with that in mind, I have a challenge for you. Over the next week, I want you to be very intentional about taking note of when you put off conversations. And this can be in a professional setting, so it can be with work or with colleagues or a boss, Or it could be in your personal life. It could be with your significant other or a child or a family member, just anybody within your life. It could be personal, professional. Hey, and if you're an overachiever, do both. But I really want you to take the next week and notice when you're putting off a conversation. And look, this is just for you. This is a personal exercise. So really be honest with yourself and take note. As you're going about your day and you're thinking, oh, I should tell somebody this, whether it's something positive or negative, and you catch yourself putting off that conversation, I want you to take note of that. And if you really want to take the most out of this exercise, write it down. Either write it in a journal, on a tablet, make a note in your phone, but in some way document it. I want you to really document that you've put off having that conversation. And do that for a full week. Really take notice. And look, if you want to start getting better right away, you can then go ahead and challenge yourself to have that conversation and make a note of that too, that you almost put it off, but then you had the conversation. But those times that you really put it off and don't quite follow through, note those down too. Again, this is just for yourself. Nobody's going to be checking up on this or judging you. So really be honest with yourself. And then when you get to the end of the week, take a look at your list and really evaluate how many times you put off having that conversation, and take a look. Or did you tend to put off an equal number of positive and negative conversations? Do you always avoid one or the other? Maybe you're really good at telling people what they need to improve, but you're not always the best at giving them positive feedback. That's quite possible. So really take a look at how many times you put off the conversation. If you did ultimately have it, how long did it take you? And do you tend to avoid one type of conversation over another? And then moving forward, really challenge yourself to get better at that, both to follow through and to follow through more quickly. And take note of how that makes you feel. Do you feel so much better and so much more relieved the times that you went ahead and had the conversation? And also when you did it quicker, did you notice that it was just so much easier and took so much less energy and worry off your mind, and that the other person received that information better? Take note of how that went. And when we think about a target goal of how quickly you should have a feedback conversation with somebody, I really encourage people to try and have that conversation the same day. If that's not possible, then take a couple of days, but really don't let more than 2 to 3 days go by before providing that feedback. Obviously, you need to judge the situation, and if there's bigger things going on and you really need to wait, of course, use your judgment there. But if it's just a matter of you not really feeling comfortable and trying to avoid it, or using the excuse that you don't have time, or coming up with other excuses as to why you shouldn't have that conversation right now, rather than there really is a bigger crisis going on, or that person is truly dealing with something difficult, that's different. But most of the time, it really is just us avoiding those conversations. So really get better at that. And if at all possible, try to have the conversation the same day, and don't let more than a couple days go by before you address either the positive behavior or the unwanted behavior. So give me a challenge accepted in the comments below if you are willing to take the 1 week and take the challenge and notice how often you put off those conversations and really do that self-reflection, self-analysis. And you know what? That makes you courageous. It takes courage to really take a look at our patterns and our behaviors and what we can improve. And so I'm proud of you already for watching this video and taking it on and really considering how you can be better. And kudos on being courageous. And if you're really extra courageous, give us a challenge accepted in the comments below, and so we can cheer you on. So we've covered timing when it comes to giving effective feedback, but there are 4 other components. And if you want to read up on all 5 of them and get a little more information on timing as well, you can download the free 15-page guide that I developed that covers all 5 components of effective feedback. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button below, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. And make sure you check out my other videos on effective feedback, where I talk about all 5 components, the STOPS approach, and where I talk about creating a safe space for feedback. Thank you all for watching. Be well and be courageous.